welcome. Welcome to Everything is Energy. Welcome to the new moon in Capricorn, which is exact on the 30th of December, 2024 at 2:27 p.m. Pacific time. As with all new moons, we have the sun and the moon together, conjunct at 9 degrees of Capricorn. Capricorn, cardinal feminine earth, ruled by Saturn. Capricorn's comfortable with long-term goals, self-discipline, and really enjoys and understands the necessity of taking one step at a time, taking the necessary steps to get to the outcome. Very Saturnian energy, as I mentioned, ruled by Saturn. And we not only have the sun and the moon in the sign of Capricorn, but we have a stellium of planets and trans-Neptunian objects. And I would offer that this stellium of planets during this new moon is ushering in a higher octave of Capricornian energy. If you've listened to any of my podcasts in the last little bit of time, you will know that one of the major aspects that we just have lived through, one of the major shifts, was that Pluto has been at the anaretic degree of Capricorn, shaking out the sign of Capricorn, any shadow aspects. So what we really likely have experienced is Pluto's been going through the structures of our world, all the ways that things seem to be quote unquote established. And Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth, has been culling anything that isn't working and showing it to us. So that aspect of Capricorn, every sign has its challenging side, its shadow side, and it has its uplifted side. So we've just been through a potentially at least 6 months experience, if not a year-long experience or more than that, of the shadow aspect of this beautiful sign of Capricorn. And now, right now, with all of these planets and trans-Neptunian objects in the sign of Capricorn, we're really going to get the chance to experience the uplifted aspect, the light side of Capricorn. And let's begin by taking a look at Quawar. Quawar is exactly conjunct at 9 degrees, the sun and the moon in Cap. And Quawar is the Tongan creator deity. Quawar sang and danced the world into existence. The energetic of Quawar is one that represents harmony, creation, and the ability to bring order to chaos. And you can get the sense that this is also part of the uplifted aspect of Capricorn. Big picture vision, long-term goals, bringing the world, singing the world in an uplifted manner into existence. We also have Pholus, conjunct Quawar, the moon, and the sun. Pholus is a centaur that guarded a sacred cask of wine. And Pholus' story has a little bit of a heavy note to it, but as I mentioned, all of these planets, all of these signs, all of these energies have their challenging aspects and their uplifted aspects. The shadow side of Pholus is one of manipulation and demise. The uplifted sign of Pholus is change that is somehow subconscious and inevitable. So the energetic here that we might notice is that we'll feel things changing. We'll notice things changing in this lunar cycle, but it'll be above and beyond 3D, rational, linear time, physical space explanation. Instead, the types of changes are going to be intuitive and instinctual and energetic, as if we're already existing in a future reality. And this cycle, I would offer, is a turning point. It's ushering us in to 2025, and it's an energetic, pivotal point. Part of the reason why that is the case is we also have all of these planets and objects conjunct Ixion. Lower octave of Ixion is Pluto's lawless brother. Higher octave of Ixion is that of a passionate spiritual mission. And that passionate spiritual mission may involve breaking with some customs, breaking down the old that no longer necessarily serves the collective. But that breakdown is a breakdown to break through, because ultimately the higher octave of Ixion is leading to some sort of a cathartic, transformational, healing experience. And to complete this stellium of planets, all snuggled together between 5 and 11 degrees of Capricorn, we have Pallas Athena, at 11 degrees of Capricorn. Her energetic represents the wisdom of the female spirit. When she shows up in an astrological event, she brings wisdom. She brings creative intelligence, as well as a very sort of technical, group-oriented, problem-solving wisdom. So all of these objects and planets in Capricorn are signaling and ushering in the beginning of a new era of Capricorn, the beginning of a new era of 3D structure, a new era of long-term goals and long-term visions, and really infusing into the collective a willingness to put in step-by-step effort. So now we're no longer drudging along, but we're open-hearted. We have an excitement for the future. There's a willingness, an excitement for this type of step-by-step endeavor. And now it's worth noting that all of this is sextiling Saturn and Nessus in Pisces. And I would offer as an overview, this sextile is about resolving the collective karmic shadow. Saturn is the planet of karma. Saturn rules Capricorn. Karma and restriction, but restriction for the purpose of balance and substantive, solid foundation, creation. Nessus is another Centaur. Again, he has part of his dramatic, typically dark myth. I'll talk about that more in my blog, but for now, as I mentioned, there's this, everything has this shadow, but also this uplifted side. And if Nessus has a message for us, it is that it is time for us to stop judging others. In his myth, the act of judging actually brought harm to others. Whoever took it upon themselves to claim that they were right and that they knew ended up bringing harm to other people. So if Nessus has a message for us, it's to step into unity consciousness. And this carries a powerful message about our path forward. It's not going to be expedient, nor is it going to be helpful to dredge up all the old harm, all the old trauma. Instead, we are being invited and supported to pivot, to choose love, to choose light, to take control of our vibration, and to choose to be the change that we seek. If we want love, we are being invited to be love. If we want harmony, we are being invited and ushered and supported in being harmony. And to have the energetic of Pisces coming through. Pisces is the most energetically sensitive sign of the zodiac, and is here to remind us that sensitivity is actually a very good thing. If we think about the notion that the outer planets' subtle energy always wins, how do we begin to work with subtle energy? By attuning ourselves to it, by opening ourselves to reading energy. So it is a very good thing for us to be sensitive, but to remain as vibrant as we can in our sensitivity, we must drop the trauma. We must pivot away from the past and the fear and the stories in the collective that no longer serve. I sense intuitively already, feel and sense what some of those outdated stories that exist in the collective are. It's the perfect time here to have Nessus in Pisces. To have Nessus in Pisces with Saturn in Pisces. Because Saturn, as I mentioned, is the planet of karma, the planet of very Capricornian, sure-footed, for the betterment of the soundness of the structure in the future. It's also worth noting that we have Neptune in the sign of Pisces, not conjunct, but Neptune is actually at the anaretic degree, conjunct the North Node. And Neptune in Pisces is perfect because Pisces is ruled by Neptune. Neptune, the planet of illusion and delusion, is supporting us in using our sensitivity to see what is real. Again, a reminder, an exclamation point that sensitivity right now is a very good thing. And if there was anything about Neptune in Pisces at the anaretic degree, if there's a shadow aspect that we might be seeing, it's magnified and unfounded fear. But if we're part of all of our project for this new moon and this new year is to choose and to embody and to create the uplifted version of everything, the uplifted side of this aspect is intuition and action for a world far better than what we have present. Pisces encourages us to imagine and to dream and to create a bright new future. And having Neptune conjunct the North Node, Neptune in Pisces conjunct the North Node in Aries is interesting. Because the North Node is known as where we're headed collectively. Where the North Node sits points us to some information about where we're going. 1 degrees Aries is again inviting us into the higher octave of our existence. If Aries has a shadow side, it's ego, anger, and war. Aries ruled by Mars. If Aries has an uplifted side, it's almost just like this renaissance of self-actualization. Our true I am presence is being invited and ushered into the physical world, now more than ever. And it's interesting to note, well, the nodes actually move backwards on a chart, they move clockwise. The planets actually move what's known as forward, which is counterclockwise. So eventually, the North Node is going to move out of Aries. And eventually, Neptune is going to move into Aries. And Neptune will be conjunct the North Node in the sign of Pisces on the 6th of February 2025. Neptune will move into Aries on the 20th of March 2025. That's going to be another big energetic shift, much like Pluto moving out of Capricorn and into Aquarius. But for the purposes of this new moon, it's as if this conjunction is taking place to inform us about the deeper truths of who we really are. We are sensitive, energetic beings. We are antenna. We are creators. We are broadcasters. We are readers of energy. And we are here, I would offer, in this lifetime to fully embody our I am presence. That's what this aspect is bringing up. Our I am presence, our consciousness, our creator spirit. And now we've had this active, we're going to have it active for a little bit of time here. Pluto opposite Mars. I'll talk briefly about it here. I'm going to do a YouTube video specifically about it in depth. But for right now, for the purposes of this new moon, Pluto opposite Mars is activating the shadow and inviting us to step up, to move beyond, to be in the present. The notion that humans are creatures of habit, and sometimes we don't shift into change unless we're truly, truly motivated. I think of it as the metaphor of a conveyor belt. We go on autopilot until there's some event or something that it just motivates us. And we're in these times. We're being activated, we're being motivated right now. But it's our choice. We are all beings of free will. It's our choice whether we engage in the lower or the higher octave of all the energies that are present. So the message of Pluto opposing Mars is just really one of, instead of getting caught up in a skirmish, instead of getting caught up in the lower vibrational aspect of things, to raise our vibration, to own our power, and to create the world we wish to see. Also, the world we wish to see is not out there and grandiose and beyond us and unattainable. It is here and now with how we vibrate, how we speak, what we choose to listen to, what we choose to watch, what we choose to think about, what we choose to see, what we choose to share. Every moment is a choice. And these are such powerful times. So before we get to our meditation, I want to share two more things. One is to invite you to my upcoming Astrology 101 course, which begins in January 2025. If you haven't already, join my email list. I'm offering a 20% off coupon for the course now through January 8th. And the second thing I want to do is to introduce Archangel Michael. I don't typically speak about him with large groups or large group meditations. He tends to come through in personal readings, but he's here very present now. So I just want to share some of what my understanding of his energetic is. And as with everything, take what resonates for you and leave whatever doesn't. Archangel Michael, in my experience, can be understood as an archangel or an angel, but also considered like an avatar or an archetype of divine energy. He's seen as a protector and a guardian, a spiritual warrior. He's also a healer and a source of strength. Michael is seen as an advocate for truth and for justice. He helps people to stand up for what is true and what is right, even in the face of adversity. And he helps humanity, in my experience, to align our actions with our higher purpose, our highest purpose. And in that regard, he's a teacher of self-actualization and spiritual growth. He helps us humans, if we're stuck in the 3D world of fear and separation, he helps us overcome that illusion. All right, now let's get to a meditation. Find somewhere where you can sit with a straight spine, with your shoulders over your hips. Begin simply by closing your eyes. And let's take 3 nice, deep but easy breaths. Breathing in through the nose, releasing through the mouth. Breathing in, coming present, calling all of your energy, all of your awareness here. Breathing out, letting anything that's heavy, anything that's distracting, go. One more time, breathing in and breathing out. Now I invite you to imagine yourself seated as you are right now, seated inside a sacred geometric shape. It's called a tetrahedron, but what it really is, you can imagine yourself first seated inside a pyramid. You're seated inside a pyramid that's pointing to the sky, but at the same time, there's a second pyramid, and that pyramid is pointing to the center of the earth. And that 3D geometrical shape is a tetrahedron. And start to notice the energy as you invoke this tetrahedron. Maybe begin by making it just about the size of your aura. Still inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. Bringing in this idea of your I am presence. Your super sensitive, actualized creator self. Planting the seeds with this new moon for the future. And as you're seeding right now, you're simply breathing and you're invoking this sacred geometric shape. This geometric shape starts to become infused with beautiful blue light. Imagine you're being surrounded by this light, you're being infused by this light. Everything about you and your field is vibrating in sync with the color blue and the energetic of this tetrahedron. And there's so much blue pulsating through you that even the flame inside your chest, your soul's heart flame, is just radiating this beautiful blue light. And now imagine this tetrahedron starts to grow. Maybe it doubles in size, maybe it triples in size. Let it grow as large as you would like it to grow. And this tetrahedron and this color of beautiful bright blue light carry with them the energetic of Archangel Michael. Feel his presence surrounding you, infusing you. And nothing to do here, but simply breathe and to be present. And as this energetic, this presence of Archangel Michael comes into your awareness, feel yourself supported, protected. And feel how this bright blue light is 100% of the light. Anything that is not of the light, of the vibration of truth and justice and peace and harmony and unity, the light of Archangel Michael is transmuting it, sending it out. So feeling yourself safe and protected. Also feeling yourself coming into harmony, coming in to balance, returning to your natural vibration of peace and love. Anything that has affected you from the outside world that may have caused distress. Again, this bright blue light in this tetrahedron shape are instantly transmuting from heaviness to light. Bright blue light. And feel yourself not only just simply being safe and being cleansed and coming into a sense of peace, but now you're starting to really feel this infusion of energy. powerful source energy that is you and is Archangel Michael. You are not separate. And feel yourself just maybe even sitting up a little taller, breathing a little bit more deeply, the muscles in your face. Maybe you even start to have an expression of peace and empowerment and anticipation for all the beauty that is to come. And just allow now the energy of this Archangel, as you're seated in this tetrahedron, to support you in releasing any fears, any more blocks, any heavy energy. It might be something that's very palpable to your own experience, but it might just be something that you're carrying for the collective. So we'll spend a little bit more time here just simply sitting inside this tetrahedron, surrounded and infused by this blue light that is cleansing and uplifting and transmuting anything that is not of the essence of truth and peace and justice and light. And as you're potentially starting to feel that your cup is full, that you are both grounded and empowered and your heart is open and you're energized, looking forward to a beautiful future, allow this next little bit of time to be a transmission. Anything that Archangel Michael has to share with you, potentially even anything that you might want to share with him. So spend a little bit of time now just communing with this avatar, with this Archangel. Sending and receiving. Wonderful. And now finally, if there's any seeds that you would like to plant during this new moon, keeping in mind that this transmission is encapsulated in this recording. You'll find this precisely when you're optimally going to experience the energies of this new moon. But if there are seeds that you feel called, maybe Archangel Michael has shown you, maybe you intuitively know there are seeds you would like to plant. Imagine that you're planting them in this blue flame of your heart, surrounded by this tetrahedron. And feel the intelligence and the power of this blue light and the energy of the tetrahedron, as if the universe is already putting the wheels in motion. The signals are being sent out. And they're being sent out from a space where you are attuned to the vibration of Archangel Michael and the beautiful energy that comes from the sacred geometric shape of the tetrahedron. So if there was a time where we might be able to experience coherence, harmonization with the higher octave of ourselves, now is that time. A little bit more time here, just planting these seeds now. Wonderful. When you're ready, send a pulse of gratitude from your heart to Archangel Michael for his presence, for this transmission. And you can decide whether you want to collapse this tetrahedron that's around you, or if you want to just pull it in a little bit into your aura and keep it with you. I'm so grateful for all of you who are present around the world, hundreds of countries and thousands of people, co-creating a beautiful and bright future. As we head into 2025, may we embody our I am presence and have an uplifted experience of being the change that we seek. As always, I'll put some links that are relevant in the notes for this show. If you haven't already joined my email list, I'll put a link for that as well. Have a blessed new moon. So much love.